Okay, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to TFC Live Season 2, Episode 5. Return of the Jedi. Oh, wait, the GOO. Oh, wait, going rogue. Is that right? Is it Rogue One? Where the f is Liam? Evening, gentlemen.
He's gone rogue.
He went rogue.
He's gone rogue, yeah, okay. So basically 55 minutes ago he was online, and I think he's fallen asleep. He's doing well, isn't he, for his comeback show? Okay, anyway, so what? The crew's here. We're going to carry on. Okay, may the force be with you. Hope you're picking one. Right, so we've got some slides tonight, and obviously, from the comms that's obviously been on the TFC page, there's a lot of interesting things that's going on at the moment. So, hey, Ren, how you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah.
Ren.
Clearly, I'm not obviously Liam, mate, but we'll talk about that afterwards. So there's been a lot of traffic on the page today. Obviously, there's been some interesting stuff. We've seen our first pictured T6 hull. It's probably coming out in February. We've got a name for it. We've got a weapon for it. And we've got a special for it. So we'll discuss that in a bit. We've also obviously got today the very first of the daily sort of campaigns as well with the what do they call it? The something chest? Was it reinforced chest or something like that? I think the name's amazing. Yeah, it made me laugh the first time I saw it, and I laugh every time I see it now. But there we go. Right. Anyway, shut up talking TSM. Right. Andrew's on tonight, and Andrew's done the slides himself. So if you wouldn't mind, mate, if you could pop them up.
They're up.
They're up. Okay. Then all I need to do is present to everybody and lock onto you. We're good. Hopefully everybody can see that. So yeah, it's TFC. Okay, Season 2, Episode 5, as I say. So the 1st of February. Oh, we're racing through the year already. 2017. So next slide. Okay, there's quite limited on content for this week, which is quite nice because it actually gets to talk about the features that have come out, which are quite important, I think, to be honest. And I think we'll hover over the daily campaigns for a little while. Next one, Andrew, please. Okay, so that was the first flash that came up. Okay, and I plopped that up on our Facebook page, and then the page went nuts, and we had about 96 responses, obviously, in literally 3 minutes. I was like, I can't read all that; it's just not possible. But basically, there you go. So that's what you see. And as it says there, then the daily campaigns are limited. Okay, it's a limited time campaign, and at the moment, then yes, I do appreciate it's only the first one for level 80s and above. Okay, and basically, what it is, it's one of two campaigns. You have the options. So it's the one where basically the three Reaver hulls, three Reaver fleets come and attack your base itself, or the other one. Who's had the other one? Anybody?
I had the other one.
I haven't not yet.
And what was the second one?
It's hit some S targets from the Apollo raid and a 91 mega hull thrown in there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Do you need Bullseye Brigade?
No.
Oh, good. That's a plus.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? So to me, I mean, okay, we can read the screen and we can all see what it's all about. So basically, in creating more daily campaigns over the time coming, that sort of stuff, okay. In the next iteration, there should be one for the over 50s up to 79 levels, that sort of stuff. So they've rolled it out in 2 stages. Whether you think they should have rolled out the 50 to 79 first and then the 80 second, I don't know. That's down to individual players, isn't it?
There should be 3 stages, actually.
Yeah. But there also should be some more campaigns, which I know they are planning on doing some additional campaigns. And these prize chests, if you want to call them prize chests or whatever you want to call them, okay, there will be more iterations of those as well planned. We also threw in some extra ideas today, which got well received. So be interested to see how these treasure chests develop. What do you think, guys? What do we think?
Okay.
In general.
This is a thing.
I wrote.
Okay, Stu. Stu, what do you think?
Yeah, I was just about to say, first things first. I like it because it was actually really easy. I don't know how hard the one that Brian did was. I don't know if that was easy as well. Was it, Brian? It was easy?
It was kind of easy because I had a lot of practice, but it takes a while. I just had the 3 Apollos, and I timed out on a couple of encounters because I just couldn't physically kill the target in 15 minutes. So that was that could be a bit of a thing. But it's like 2.5 hours damage at the end, I think.
Right. Okay. So I mean, well, the base defense one was easy anyway. I mean, in my eyes. So it was nice to have some bonus resource for basically putting in 0 effort at all. I literally just clicked attack, and that was it. That's what let it do its thing and got a copy. But you can stack these chests as well.
Yeah. This is great.
So
isn't it?
that means that you don't have to use them straight away. You can just build them up over time, and that's really going to help you out, like in the long run. Like, I mean, say you're like in my position, you can collect base parts or uranium whenever you want, but one day you just can't be bothered. Just open up the chests, and off you go. That's why I like it anyway. It gives me an option to be lazy. And I support anything to give me that option.
I had the same one as Brian, the assault using the Apollos. So I actually found it quite easy. Probably obviously because of the raid Apollos, the raid that you had to use the Apollos in order to hit the S targets. So I used the 3 Apollos with the Harrier missiles. They don't do as much damage as the blades, but you're still able to do it within the time allotted.
I'm interested from Ren's perspective because obviously he's a businessman. How do you see it as a marketing tool, Ren? I'm interested in your perspective. Do you think the fact that we've got to encourage people to come back in daily, or this will encourage people to come back, so actually the hit rate for the game is going to go up?
I think so, and Stu covered a lot of it. I think being able to stack the chests and have a bunch of them in there, so on a rainy day you don't feel like going out for uranium or whatever, you just open a couple chests and hope you have what you need. I also think for some players who struggle like doing armadas or whatever, I mean, I did my first one today and my chest had 150,000 uranium. So, that could easily take someone over the threshold. They need to start a Forsaken R&D where mostly you need 200,000 plus uranium. So, I think one of Kicksai's goals with those was to reduce chores, and I think mission accomplished. I mean, I think it was 6-7 minutes. I had the campaign done, and boom, I had 150,000 uranium and some of the other resources as well. I mean,
so
a couple tokens.
But you had the base defense one.
Yeah. So the very
Yeah.
first chest that you won, you got the jackpot, and
So just to finish, so the other thing, Mark, that you mentioned is like whether their strategy of releasing the high-level campaign first was good. I think was bang on, because high-level players usually are more flexible in terms of how hard something can be, right? I mean, they could make it hard now or easy, and they can retune, and then high-level players usually will adapt. I still have issues with Kicksai using base level to level lock everything.
Mm-hmm.
As we know, a lot of returning players are over level 80, but are totally behind the curve in tech. So I putting that aside, that concern aside, I think is the right thing to do. Release the high level ones first. Take their time tuning the mid-level one, make it easier. Right, and then finally the one for lobies should be like just for us a walk in the park, but something attainable for them with stuff like, I don't know, Leviathan, Sea Wolves, or whatever that people at level 20, 30 have.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, I must admit. I mean, for me, if you want to encourage somebody to log in every day, this is the ideal situation. So let's not log in and make it so they can't continue to play. Let's make sure they log in every day and gain something of it. And then when they're logged in, they're going to go, oh, well, I'm here anyway. I may as well go and do, or I may as well do such and such.
I have a concern about that. A lot of things, games especially Facebook games, have daily rewards, yes, but they're just for logging in. This game kind of has that in your free Roku roll, except it's Lucky Bastards and nobody cares. There was the free, what was it? Free repair on your first battle of the Forsaken Arena, but nobody cares. And now there's this, which is, it's not really how do I
Free?
think? Well, yes, it's not really free. And the thing is too, I play a couple other games that have daily rewards, but they give you like double XP, and the reward to cost ratio is pretty favored towards the reward. You get a lot of reward for not a lot of cost. This, not so much, depending on what campaign you get. So it might not be the best. I would still, if they wanted to do something like that, I'd like to see a login bonus where you get like, 1,000 uranium or 5,000 base parts or a tier
Just for logging in?
whatever. Yeah, just for logging in. So
that
it's no effort.
That mechanic doesn't work in the long term, and that's not productive as a company, though, as far as I'm concerned. The thing is to do this now to get the treasure chest, which you can stack, so you haven't got to waste it. You can hold them for 6 months if you really want to. You've actually got to spend a little bit of time in the game, so it's a bit of a give and take. Okay, you've logged in because you want to log in, and you want to gain something, and to gain something, you've got to stay on a little bit longer than the average game, the average Facebook game, that is.
We have to remember though that they're rolling it out with the higher levels first, and I think part of that is because it's easier to tune the targets for players that have a better tech depth. I think they probably want to see the metrics to see if people are actually interested in doing it. And, I think it's a fantastic opportunity for them to start bringing in new players or catching up players. I mean, I have no problem with them throwing in, blueprint pieces, shards.
The prize pack will increase. I've spoken to both Doom and GDR today, and there is plans to expand this. They're quite keen on it. It's quite an easy metric to bring into the game as well. And I'm just looking through the chat as well. I mean, some people have had some build tokens, some people have had some gantry tokens, some people have had some base tokens, some people have had not titanium yet. No, I haven't seen that as well, but we've seen some really interesting stuff. So it's quite a broad spectrum. It's not just like, oh, here's a load of res and then here's some uranium. It's not just that, And actually, to be honest, uranium's not so bad, considering 150 is quite hard to get hold of for some people at the moment.
Right. But
I was very happy when I got 150,000.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's a good prize, isn't it? But build tokens for ships and that sort of stuff. There's some good stuff coming.
Yeah, one comment that I wanted to make. The only thing that annoyed me is because I did the Rivertide campaign, and I was planning on doing FM right after, and I use pinch rockets when I do my FM to reduce damage. And now I can't because the campaign took away my launch pad. So if you have your dock or your launch pad exposed, it will be killed, right? So my suggestion before you do the TLC, if you care about your dock and your launch pad, you're going to have to move them inside the base.
Yeah.
Otherwise, every time you get that campaign in the random selection there every day, your launch pad will be done.
Yeah.
Or you just don't do it.
Yeah, well, and do you know what I mean? I've just seen in chat saying, "Oh, it's another chore." It's not. You completely ignore it. You've no one saying you got to do it. It's just a freebie at the end of the day. And to me, I haven't done it yet. I haven't even started it. I've just finished my FM, both runs. I'm quite content with that. And exactly for the reason Ren's just said there, just in case, and I know which one I've got. I've got the three Reaver fleets to come and hit my base. Just in case I get a little nick on my dock or I get a nick on my launch pad, I've waited. To me, this is the last thing in the evening job. I'll do this, whichever one it is, finish it off for the last half hour before I sack it for the night, and then I'll be done by the next morning.
It's worth mentioning, Mark, when you do it, you notice that they tune down damage like big time. Like I lost my launch pad and the labs around because they died with a fort. But I mean the turrets and like they didn't have a scratch on them after all rounds were done. My turrets literally didn't have a scratch.
Well, that's quite interesting.
They couldn't take the level 9 walls.
So that's quite interesting as well, because if you think about it, that means players can't actually abuse this campaign to get a free bubble.
That was part of the metric as well, mate. Yeah. The free bubble plan of like, I'll stick my OP out the front and I'll just never come out of a bubble ever again. I'll just do it every day and get a 24-hour bubble. That metric's been thought of.
And it's daily, so it would make sense that you don't want someone to incur a high cost on something that can be done daily so that they're kind of locked out of playing for a long period of time. So they do it for that too.
So I suppose the question we haven't asked is, apart from stating the obvious, give me 50 million gold, what would you like to see in the treasure chest?
250 million zinth. 250 million zinth.
For who? I think it's for who. No, I'm saying I think it's for who, because for the higher level.
Not for your individual. Okay, not as an individual, as for the game as a whole, based on what we're needing to do at the game at the moment. Okay.
Shipbuild tokens.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, shipbuild tokens is a good one, and
maybe some fragments for the Foundry or something like that. You know,
That's
Just
what
a
I
bunch
want.
of it.
I want to see Foundry fragments and stuff like the players that are like, 49 to 80. Man, give them damn blueprints. I don't give a crap. Put
I'd
something
like to-
solid.
Mm.
Put something solid in the first 2 tiers that gets them up to speed quickly.
Yeah,
Hang on a
time
minute,
seeker
you
Us
just
for 80 plus
George,
just gets
just remember,
real crap.
the crates are random, so just because somebody needs a blueprint doesn't mean they're going
Yes.
to get it. So that means a lot of people, they may wait a year to get the blueprint that they're looking for. So that's whilst a generic blueprint maybe, or a generic
Depends.
token that you can use against a blueprint. I get that, but you can't just say a specific blueprint because that's never going to work out, or potentially never going to work out for a certain person.
Well, then you
how,
lock
how
in.
often how good the drop is. I mean, if they have it as a high drop, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I must admit. I mean, I'm logging each. I mean, I haven't started one yet, but I've already decided that I will do a daily screen grab of every time I drop a prize or use a crate, and then I'm going to see what's in it, and I'll see a pattern, hopefully, or at least I get an idea of what the scope is. And as they develop, if they get better, then I've got a bit of history and a bit of archive anyway. So
here's
I
what.
think
At the moment, we've got level 80 campaigns for the 50 to 79. They should bring campaigns out for folk below 50 and below. But
There's supposed to be some. It's 3 tiers.
well, see, currently the only way that they can get blueprints randomly is through the salvages. They should have something in the chest similar to that for them, so they can have random of 4 or 5 different parts of blueprint, so that they're able to gain it as well as gain it through the salvages, so they're able to get the tech quicker for them.
speed them up.
Through. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
It's the only way that you're going to keep the players set playing to progress up to the stages that you want them to be in order to actually join the rest of the community.
Well, I was just about to say as well, to be honest, like if they are level, I think you said 50 and below.
Yeah.
There is so much you can do with base parts now. It's unreal. So, I mean, just them being able to do that one campaign, the
But they
chance
don't
of them
feel
getting
engaged.
100,000. Well, the chance of getting 100,000 base parts, you can do so much with 100,000 base parts.
But Stu, who cares at that level? At that level, I don't give a shit about my base.
I
want to be
I do it
engaged
on my
in the
ult all the
game.
time. You know, my
I wanna
ult has
be-
like 200,000 base parts just randomly on there. I don't know where it come from. I never collected it.
Right, but
So
if you're
I just
if you're
sat
at
there
that
for about an
level,
hour upgrading stuff for no reason. It's fun.
if you're that level, you want to be engaged in the game. You want to be doing stuff.
But Liam fell asleep. He's on his way.
All right, it's okay. We'll have to log in himself now.
We have a new
Quick question.
Building the cur- building
We have a
the
new hope. That was great, Stu.
A challenger appears. Wait, wrong guy.
TFC strikes back.
Okay,
Can I ask a
Ren,
question?
Yeah, go.
Liam strikes back.
I was just going to say, in my mind, I'm thinking the first thing I should do when I log in game is the daily campaign, because especially if I want you to open the chest right away, I mean, it's if I do it right now and I open and I got a whole bunch of uranium, now I know I don't need to go and kill armadas. Or if I got a bunch of base parts, I know I don't need to go out and kill the mines. You know what I mean? Should people do that first, you think? Or is it like TSM said, that the last thing you're going to do before you go to bed?
I think when I get up and look, I'll say, oh, what kind of campaign is this? Is this one I can do, relatively cheaply, because I've got, Harlocks in a single Tide Seeker, and I can go out and get even 150,000 uranium for less damage than the Apollo campaign just dealt to me. Or if I need to go out and get base parts, maybe I'll do that, depending. So for me, it's, what is this cost benefit analysis after that?
So fleet repair tokens.
Yeah.
Random drop in the chest.
Free repair tokens, yeah. So you can, that would be a quite good one actually, especially if people can save them up and use them in the raids.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be for the lower levels particularly.
A lot more
We have
people
to add-
engage.
We have
into
to add megabits and gantry bits for Stu. I mean, he's never going to get it done otherwise.
Hey, my gantry is 1 day away from being finished. So go
Sure
through
it
yourself.
is.
I was going to do something about mega ships in a minute, but I'm not yet. We'll carry on where we are. Okay. So yeah, good. All right then. So there we go. There is plans to maybe rotate like I said, the different campaigns into different areas of the game and that sort of stuff. And it's recycling, the usage of the usability of hulls that have I don't know, in this game, yesteryear seems quite too far away, but yesterweek almost, isn't it? It's basically the holes that are no longer viable. Probably a bit like your Apollos. If you didn't have 91s, what would you be doing them? So yeah, the Apollo has come back again because now it's every other day potentially you got the chance to use it. So there are some so whats here. So the first one being the so what is you don't have to open the chest. If you do open the chest, bear in mind that if you do, as in that example there, then there's a big pot of uranium there, and if you've already, as obviously Red had mentioned, if you're already stacked to the max of uranium, don't open the chest just in case you're going to then basically throw it all away.
You do get a pop-up to tell you you're close to being full as well.
Yeah, so just bear that in mind, okay? I mean, there's some good stuff there, and there's some not so good stuff there in that particular chest, but ultimately, there's some base parts there. Look, there's a uranium pot, and there's some generic stuff. I'd say that was.
I got two tokens. 1 hour structure repair token.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. Let's say I log in one day, my dock is down, and in 2 hours I can almost get it ready for action again.
I've seen somebody have win a 1 day building token.
I've just seen as well someone do a 12-hour ship build token and a 12-hour base build token. So that's quite decent, isn't it?
I think I know a ship build token.
That's quite a decent price, to be honest.
I would have preferred it if they gave us a lot more resources, because the 1.5 mil was crap.
Yeah, we can go.
I think that's just a notional, isn't it? Because the rest of it, I mean, 200 base parts there and 55 in uranium is quite a decent amount, to be honest, isn't it?
So I tend to get them off the Draconian mine bases and other stuff.
It's quite decent stuff anyway. But so there you go. Stack up as many chests as you feel you want to. It's a bit like the old day we used to gift stuff as well. As far as I'm concerned, this shouldn't be more than a. You shouldn't have to more than to do a fleeting glance at completing this. Really, to be honest, if you're hitting it, especially a plus level 80 base, unless you're doing something bizarre in your base. It's a rainy day moment, yeah, exactly. And when you're feeling a bit sort of like, I'm a bit low on all my resources, then crack a few open, see how it goes. You might get something surprising. I do hope, I've already fed in a couple of extra ideas. A couple of people have emailed me, and there's a few things on the page that have happened. So I've already passed across a couple of additional ideas, which may or may not come into the game, don't know. But this has a lot of potential. It can definitely grow, I think. And do you know what? It's one of those things, as I've said already, I don't know what you guys think. It's a take it or leave it. You don't have to do it. Still think FM is your priority, and go and get your base parts, because a lot of people are definitely charging ahead with their bases now with their the fact that they're actually getting base parts, and they're speeding ahead with their turret builds and etc. etc. It's all starting to come together for many people. Right. Okay. Anything else you want to say about the daily campaigns?
I was just going to say, and I said that on my video. The 3 turrets that to me made a big difference is just having a gargoyle 3, a cataclysm mortar, and a glacial. I mean, the combination of the 3 turrets at the entrance of the channel was pretty much taking care of everything. Like, none of the ships ever got close to any of my guard ships. They were just dying at the entrance, like real easy.
So that's a bit of a proof in the pudding there for you, then. It definitely works, that combo.
Yep.
Okay.
That's time for me. I gotta head to class. That was fun.
Okay.
See you guys around.
All right, Brian. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping in, bud. The realities of real life catch up with Brian. He does get to leave the cellar occasionally. I'm not sure which door he uses, but he definitely gets to leave.
No, I'm pretty sure the left door was
anyway.
a knocking noise, and like one of his victims trying to escape or something. It was like, I gotta go, guys. Yeah, he's
Could
got
be
to put
that.
it back in the cupboard.
It is. So yeah, a little. Obviously, a ticket was put up there by Doom to say basically, as they started it off, obviously it flashed up actually that the 50 to 79 camps were there, and obviously they had to switch them off because they hadn't actually put anything behind those, so you couldn't actually take part in them, to be honest. So I believe Lee just dropped in.
Somebody smashing something.
Holy shit! Look at him.
Good
Sorry,
morning,
guys.
princess.
Hello, Sleepy Bobo.
I thought, right, I'll have a nice evening nap, and I set my alarm for 10 p.m. and it's now 11:30, so that did not work.
Evening nap is called sleep, Liam.
Yeah, sorry guys. And look, I didn't even have time to do my hair, so there's no goo. you know. But we
Man,
just have to.
Return of the Jedi is just not come as we thought.
No, it didn't quite go the same as the movie.
Where's like the green
Anyway.
lightsaber and shit, man? I'm disappointed.
Sorry, guys. It was. I was just tired. But
Anyway,
I'm here
so-
now, so carry on.
Good. Okay, and so what we've done, we've covered obviously the daily campaigns, the new obviously daily drop and that sort of stuff. At the moment, level 80s. There's 2 there. There's a Reaver three tiers attacking your base, or to go out there and blow some stuff up with Apollos. Simple, quite clear and quick to do. And the drop rate at the moment is quite decent. Some people are getting half-day ship build tokens. Some people are getting half-day base speed-up tokens for buildings, that sort of stuff. There's some really big pots of uranium getting kicked out there. Uranium himself got 150 radium, which is quite nice. K, that is. And so, yeah, some base parts as well. You know, some good prizes. So quite enjoying it, I think, to be honest. And it's only day 1. So come on, you know. And I don't know if the campaigns will cycle where you'll get 1, then the next one, or it'll just could be, you know, you might be lucky and get 3 Reaver ones in a row or something. I don't know, to be honest.
Well, from what I read on the forums, it's a random campaign you'll get.
So I'm going to keep a running total on what I get on my prize drops, and then also what I get each day, just out of interest. I might do it for a month and see how it pans out, and maybe do a stat at the end of the month or something. Seems it's the first enough today, so. Have a look at that. And like I said there, so there you go. The campaigns to 59 kicked up quickly. The 50s to 79s kicked up quickly, and then basically it dropped off again because it shouldn't have tipped up just as yet. So it wasn't, that metric wasn't ready. So they brought it back down again. That was just a quick acknowledgement there from obviously from Doom Rooster.
So the 50s and campaign 50 to 79 should be available next week.
Yeah, in the next week's update. So let's hope that's the case. Okay, good. I just noticed there somebody's actually got so Andrew in the chat there said basically he's got 120k of view and 3 1-hour structure build tokens. That's nice to finish things off, isn't it? Quite that. See, they're worth the 1 hour ones. I like stocking up because if you can stock up the 1 hour ones, then you know if something's going to finish at 4 in the morning, you know you can knock a couple of hours off and actually just start the next one sort of like that just before you sack it for the night. Or if you do, if you're late like me and stay up late anyway. So there we go. And then Nines just said that he saw somebody actually get 200k uranium as well. So that's good news. So there's definitely some whopping great chest tokens out there. Which the name chest tokens. Anyway, whatever. Still makes me laugh. Right, let's move on then. As we mentioned, and I posted up on the page then, so that's the first view, okay, of the very first tier 6 hull, which to me, I know Stu's really excited about this one, looks like a Draconian
Dreadnought X.
Dreadnought X gone wrong on steroids, yeah? Would you agree?
Yes, I like it. I like it a lot.
With the wings of the Apollo.
With the wings of the Apollo, yeah, you're
Why
probably
did you
right.
have to ruin it?
Couldn't
it
you just
just
remind
left it
me
as
of
Dreadnought
an
X?
MCX?
Okay.
It reminds me more of an MCX than a Dreadnought X. Actually, kind of looks like an Interceptor. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so but
it looks like a ship from Stargate.
it does
I
look
think
a
it
bit
looks awesome.
Stargate-ish. I like
And
the
I
fact
like
that you've
the
actually
little neon
highlighted it
lights
in blue
as
as
well.
well. I think that's quite clever, Andrew. I like that. That's good. It makes it just go more draconian to me. And I've always liked draconian ships because I thought they're excellent. I won the first Dreadnought, the very first one, so I was always chuffed to have that. So yeah, it's good. And obviously we know that the scattergun there, you know, whatever it's chucking out, but we can guess what type of scattergun that is already just by the fact that the color zone and that sort of stuff. So
I have a theory.
the narrowing firing aperture, so that's the special then. So obviously that brings the spread in, so it's concentrating the fire, I'm guessing. The very fact that it says narrowing.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, guys? Come on.
Well, I have a theory on the scattergun. I reckon it's called Ruin because that's exactly what it's going to do to your base.
I like that. You turn your base
Ruin
into
the
one.
game. But no,
the question is
I
whether or
like-
not it's just building damage.
Go on, George.
I was just going to say the way that they named it, I just wonder if it's going to be opposite of some of the other stuff that we've seen where it's going to be concentrating on just building damage and no fleet damage.
Ooh.
That would be interesting.
Oh,
Maybe
from-
they have to start combining stuff.
From the little picture from that special, it looks like it's a ship in the center of it.
The target
priority
bullseye.
target sort of looking thing, isn't it? Really,
Hmm.
like smart warheads. Looks like that kind of thing,
True.
but not.
Anyway,
It looks good. The artwork looks fantastic.
That's what I was saying. I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
well, I miss
Like,
Lucy because today would be the day to say I get smashed every day.
She probably still does get smashed up. She hasn't
What do you mean,
logged in in a while,
probably?
so. Hey, I don't know. I'm at work, right?
Oh no! Oh my! I think Liam's using a different version than we are.
I'd cancel the milkman service if I was you. Just saying, you know.
You know, we get free milk every day. I don't understand it.
Ginger kids. Anyway,
all the kids have got ginger hair.
Is now a bad time to admit that I was a milkman? Oh my!
that's a hell of a
Anyway.
round you got, mate. I'll tell you, if you're coming that far.
That's man.
That's dedication.
What's the name? What's the name of this ship? Pride.
Right, so this ship, interesting, is
Huh.
going to be called Pride. Okay, so this is Ren's little moment, I think. So off you go, mate.
I was just gonna say, I mean, this is gonna be the first tier 6 Conqueror. So of course, I'm expecting a lot of people to go on forums and page and whatnot saying it's overpowered, right? Because it's supposed to be, right? Just like what they did before they got the tier 5 Conquerors, a little bit of a buff, giving a whole bunch of flagships that kind of brought the whole fleet to level 5.5 according to Kickstarter. And
Yeah.
this is going to be the first full level 6 hull. And I noticed they've broken with the tradition that they established of naming all the conquerors after vengeance, right? Revenge, vendetta, retribution, revenge. I mean, it was all around the same topic of like getting back at somebody. And this guy's just pride. So I'm curious about it. I mean, you know, is it going to be now a new series or what? I don't know, but I'm intrigued, I gotta say.
Well, didn't Raken speak to us last year on the show and say that we were going to see like a new
Series.
I don't think this is going to have Bloodthirst. It's going to have something new.
Exactly. I mean, the Bloodthirsty was all about the revenge theme, right? Revenge, vendetta, retribution, and whatnot. But this guy is probably something new entirely.
And being tier 6, it's probably going to be the most powerful hull we've seen today in terms of basing. Well, at least you'd expect it to be.
Yeah, and that scattergun will be, you know, like, think about it. All the other weapons that have to go through walls right now, if you try hitting a base that's all upgraded, walls upgraded, I mean, try hitting it with Furies. The Furies will not get through the walls fast enough. They'll just die, right? You get a fleet of Malice, I mean, with cannons. The cannons don't get through the walls fast enough. So this guy will be at a whole new level of power. So we should see a step up in power creep right now.
It's going to be in.
I just hope that but what I do hope is that it's controlled in the balance is controlled, because if this hull is so powerful that it just rolls into any base, click the back of the corner kind of stuff, then I feel like we're just going to take 5 steps backwards.
And they won't do that. I mean, I think that, I mean, if they're going to start a whole new series, I mean, let's assume they will based on what they did with the last tier 5 set, right? They're probably going to keep playing that rock, paper, scissors game, would be my guess. Not only my guess, I think would be the right thing and the smart thing to do. It's to keep playing the rock, paper, scissors game, right?
He did say
This
being
guy is very powerful, but it will have a very clear weakness, you know?
Yeah, he did state that
Yeah,
it would
which
continue
was
the concept where you've got to have basically a deck of cards, not a single, you know, it's a royal flush rather than 4 deuces. It's definitely a case of this is iteration 1 of a series of X, and the collective group will make, you know, the fleet.
Well, the same thing happens with every Conqueror release. I mean, it comes out, it trashes everyone, and then you look at what it's weak, you adapt to it. You know, it's the same thing. And then the next one comes out, and you look at what that's weak to, and you adapt to that. And yeah,
We'll have another one of
so
Ren's special pictures, because I like that picture.
Well, and
It's
the
going to
good
have to
thing
have,
about the base
a
cards-
level of power that makes it worth building, though. Like,
Of course. Well, I think it will. I think, well, if we're honest right now, I mean, you're using tanks for your vendettas. So, like, this thing could potentially be a new tank for your vendetta if we're going to go by the rock, paper, scissors theory that Ren's using. So, like,
Yeah, there will
if
be
this
a
thing
level
is super
6
tank
equivalent
above
to the
tier
Vendetta.
5, like, I mean, even if the deflection stats are like, I mean, we don't know what the special abilities are. We don't know anything about it. But even if the deflection stats are like slightly higher than any of the previous tier 5 Conquerors, then this thing is already got a use. Because right now it's so difficult to get into top tier bases without having suicide fleets in, prep the fleets out and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've got a suicide fleet myself that just runs around, misses out all the turrets, and goes over the back and just kills ships and does nothing else.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
take things apart.
Right now we're kind of like we're stuck. We have to suicide fleets in to take out base guards. I mean, even unguarded bases with turrets are actually deadly for the tier 5 conquerors. If you make the wrong movement or wrong turn in a base, a tier 6, I think it is outpost 9, tier 6 it is, isn't it? Like a tier 6 base with decent turrets can one-shot you easily. It's crazy. So,
you got a Cataclysm Mortar. I mean, if it hits your Vendetta fleet right in the center, all it takes is one hit to kill the whole fleet.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. So my concern is like right now, I think we only have 2 turrets that were released and designed probably with the whole tier 6 power level in mind. I think it's the Cataclysm and the Gargoyle 3. These are the only 2 turrets I see that are very powerful right now on their own, and will probably die, but we'll probably need new turrets.
What was that concussive turret that we had as well just before?
The Gargoyle 3.
No, it was a really long range one that sits in the middle of the base.
Maximin turret or the minigun.
Yeah, it's quite decent, isn't it?
The Maxim's kind of weak. I mean, unless you put a whole bunch of fire support around it, right? Then
if you stack them up, they're actually very decent.
Yeah, most people are saying the Maximum turret, you put the right specials on, put 4 of them on, and get a bit of boost. And actually, they rip, especially the outside fleets apart pretty quickly. But anyway, slight tangents there, right? But it's good because it's all on the same thread. So there we go. Like I said, so Ren's got a theory. There's a series of hulls coming. Both GDR and Doom on the end of the year show said that would be the theme for this coming year. So look forward to the first one. It may not come in the first month. Well, it didn't, did it? So this is obviously going to be the first one of a series of hulls. The reiteration, whether it's going to be straight down the line, they're just going to kick out a stack of Conqueror hulls, or whether they may do 1 or 2 and then chuck in a Defender hull, which is highly likely, but we'll see how that goes, unless they do them in a TLC or something.
The one thing that throws me off about this whole, that I don't like, let's say, about this release, I like the looking of the hull and everything. It all looks very slick. But come on, we're like in the middle of a Scourge raid cycle. Why don't we get a Scourge Conqueror hull? Why are we getting a Draconian?
I agree with that.
Well, we're only saying it's Draconian because of the paint job. We don't actually know.
That's definitely Draconian, mate. Come on.
Yeah. The series of hulls. The series of hulls might be all Draconian. It might be, it might entail more than just 3 hulls.
We've got a stack of Reavers.
3 months. So
yeah.
Normally they had none of the lines of a Scourge hull, and we're in the Scourge raid defeating Scourge guys. So I thought the hull was going to be a Scourge themed hull. That's all I'm saying.
Normally the prizes do tend to favour the cycle. Like when we were in the Zoe cycle, we had all of her tech, and normally the prizes do favour whatever cycle we're in.
Well, perhaps this is the way that they're going. Perhaps we have to defeat the Scourge in the 3 months, and then we'll be awarded Scourge next.
Holter's just said the same thing in chat there. At the end of the day, we know they're supposed to be based off the video and the storyline that we're going along, the Scourge is supposed to be able to annihilate everybody, and we're supposed to be fighting them. We can't be gaining their tech already, otherwise it's game over before it started. So gaining something halfway through the season that's coming, that makes sense, doesn't it? Maybe we gain a Defender hull. It's a Scourge Defender.
In all fairness, how many? We've only ever seen a few subs from the Scourge.
Whose his tech was the Mimicus? Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Let's not go to the theory and logic that Kixeye uses, because there is none. Come on.
Well, it's flavor of the month at the moment. So anyway, it looks Draconian. Okay, and just for the color match, and it looks like a bit Dreadnoughtish, doesn't it? And Stu likes it because it just gives him a bit of flashback. So there we go.
It looks like a spaceship.
And it does look like something out.
It doesn't look like a spaceship. Stop trying to ruin it for me. I don't like the fact that it's potentially going to be a blitz ship, though. Scattergun is usually a blitz weapon.
But you never know. It could have some kind of extreme crazy range.
Well, I just hate anything to do with blitz. I mean, if it does turn out to be a blitzer, I'm just going to be like, you know? I prefer something with a bit more skill.
Something that involves driving.
Yes, exactly. You know, like a missile hole or something where I have to pick my targets and stuff like that. Rather than just, okay, I see the back of the base. Go, go, go! You know, nah, I don't like that. But we'll see.
Should we move on? Okay. So here we go. Bug fixes and tuning. Oh my word, he's not here. Okay. George, take it away. You can have this one.
He's not here either.
Awkward silence.
George is here? No, is he gone?
Do you want me to do it?
No, I actually forgot that I was muted. I actually started talking. I was like, son of a bitch.
Go on, buddy.
So
Take
the first two actually are some of my favorites. The pandemonium reduction from 1440 to 18 seconds. I was ecstatic reading this because this right here makes the repair modifier better than the Vanquisher hull itself. And with some of the builds that are floating around right now that, you know, use revenges in this, made me really happy. A lot of people that use the Nova Storms are using the Pandemoniums as well. So those that are gutting the 109s to try and get up to tier 4, tier 5, start sharing those builds. This is fantastic. Fantastic news. The third one was the improved the flow when using a VXP token such that the fleet that contains the ship you're using VXP tokens on will remain selected after a token is used. I have no idea. Yay. Good.
Explain
awesome.
that one. Yeah, didn't make sense to me, that one.
It sounds like when you selected to use the VXP token, it would like deselect the ship. I mean, really, I have other things that I'm more concerned about than that. I'm guessing just from the way that it's written. I mean,
we'll let him have that one.
The
Because
next
the one
one
above was so great. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, after the first two, I don't give a crap about the rest of them because there's nothing really significant that I saw. But the next one was, let's see, corrected the name of advanced systems being used in the resources list at the bottom right of the mega ship. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Fixed an issue where the Harlock Citadel blueprint was stating that it had 9 weapon slots when it actually only has 8. The only people that I know that really complained about that were people that were just whining that they couldn't get a 9th weapon on it. I mean, you know,
I'm gonna go send a ticket. Where's my 9th weapon?
Isn't it because? Actually, never mind.
The next one is where they fixed the pop-up for the Forsaken mission. Was not available until the game was reloaded for players online when the mission started. Honestly, I don't know why that's even an issue. Just refresh the frickin' game, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, agreed. Refresh it.
I don't know why time was spent on this. Yeah. Medals should have been on here, but, you know, fixed an issue where the defenders in a player-based combat would not be awarded medals for successfully defending their base. So they started a little bit on medals issue.
Okay.
You know,
so the catch-up on that one quickly before we move on is... In fact, no, do the last one and then we'll go back to that.
Okay, last one is they fixed an issue where the players were unable to use VXP tokens designated for the Alpha Behemoth to rank up the hull.
Yeah.
That one actually is, I mean, I think a lot of people actually paid money for that. So, yeah, that was a needed fix right there. That one I can see. Yes, cool, awesome. But the first two are the ones that I just made my day.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about any of those there. I think the big one for me, to be honest, I don't think many people use the Searing Barrage mortar anymore, to be honest, but the Pando, most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge reduction, and that's definitely going to help a lot of those mid-level players because we know where the Pando sits in the FM. So I think that's an excellent, it's a brilliant update.
Yeah, the other thing with the Pandemonium mortar, too, where the repair modifier is that low now, you can use it on something like, say, the Zealous that has a repair coefficient of 1, and you can kind of dilute its repair, if you will, overall repair from like a 1 modifier to under a 1. Because this is, I think it's like 0.01. I wrote in the article. I did the math in the article. I think it's 0.01 for a repair modifier, which is the absolute lowest in the game for anything. Right now.
Yeah. Okay, Ren, go.
Just wanted to say, George is going down a geeky path there, and that's sometimes my issue with Kickside release notes. They are too complicated, right? Honestly, if you just stop somebody on the street and ask them how long is 1440 seconds, most people will have no idea. So let me just say that in plain English. It's 24 minutes.
Yeah.
I think everyone understands 24 minutes a lot better than 1,440 seconds.
The way I looked at it is you can repair now a whole fleet for the same price, same time as you could do one mortar.
Yeah, I mean, let's say the base repair time on a Nova Storm is an hour, okay? And I'm not saying it is because I don't remember, so 1 hour. Now, if you added 6 Panda mortars on that fleet, 6 times 24, it's almost 3 hours more to repair one ship because of 6 mortars. Right? Times 4 guys in a ship, now you're talking about a fleet that takes 15 hours to repair, right? And now it's going from 15 hours to 4 hours to repair that same fleet because the mortar now is almost instant repair. But each Panda mortar adds 1,800 armor to your ship. So if you put 6, you pretty much don't need to put any armor because you're giving about 10,000 armor to your ship by putting 6 Pandas on it.
This is what I've got my red spotters.
You're getting a lot of armor and you're getting 10% radioactive resistance for free.
For free, yeah. Spotter ships and that sort of stuff is a brilliant idea now.
Well, it's always been a great weapon. I've always used it in my
use it a lot.
fleets, you know, attacking fleets. It's awesome. I love the Panda, to be honest.
I always avoided it because of the repair time. I always hated the whole 24, 25-minute repair time per mortar. I'm like, I can't afford that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And then there was times where I was, refitting a Gamma or something, and I'm like, okay, I want a bit more armor. I want some radiation defense. I'll put on, 2 Pandemonium mortars or something like that. And then I look at the repair and I'm like, maybe I'll just go with 1,
So, emissions. Okay, the emissions one. There's no recovery yet on the medals awarded system. So we know there's been a period of time, and Doom posted up on the page today on one of the forum pages a subnote, and the subnote basically said, whilst we fixed the medals and they're back to normal now, we haven't looked into the so what's of what happened in between it being obviously busted and then now being fixed again. So they're looking at doing something, but they don't know what they're going to do yet. More to follow. And the other thing that's really frustrating is the Harlock sit refit has not been fixed.
Yeah, that one's a big one. That one's a huge one that's got to get done.
It really needs to. I was expecting. You can't refit it, mate. You can build it, but you can't refit it. So most people build blanks, don't they? Because obviously, if you've done R&D, it's much faster to build a blank ship and then obviously to fit it out afterwards. But if you're building it, you can't refit it at the moment. So if you have it already built, you can't refit it.
Wasn't there something about using a gunboat first or something?
That was only fresh build.
That's just to build it.
Never, from a clean build, as in never built it before.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't aware of the bug. I didn't try to refit mine. So.
Yeah,
I haven't tried to refit mine since I built it, but I wasn't aware of that. That's a terrible bug.
Yeah,
no, I wonder.
I have refit mine recently. Actually, I put the high velocity rounds on my hull.
Hang on, 9
The Harlock Citadel issue has been fixed.
It has been fixed.
Nine Nines has just said.
Well, he's just saying that. Yeah,
I was going to say, I wonder if that extra Phantom weapon slot is what was causing the glitch, and maybe by them fixing that statistic saying it had 9 weapons when it actually has 8, maybe that was causing the whole thing.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. Yeah,
He just said he's just started his refit today.
I'll find out in about 25 minutes. I'll do mine as well.
Can we just blame George? George is the cause of all bugs in game.
I don't want to put some, as we spoke about, in the week. I'm going to put the splash special on it, the radioactive one, and HVR shells, because that combination on your mortar ship is mental. I've just did my FM literally. I did both runs all the way through for about 45 minutes damage in total for both runs, with no cruise at all. It was crazy. I was well impressed. So. Yeah.
I do kind of the same thing with my Vendettas. I blitz straight through the mission. I can do a target in about 6 minutes.
The
HVR shells I refitted the high velocity round onto mine, and it was unreal, the difference.
And I have to say, those in the mid-level, I mean, it's a bit difficult to say mid-level because it's not a mid-level price, but if you can get HVR shells, okay, and even on a standard set of Punishers, and each Punisher has only got, only a Phalanx 4, obviously, and, like a Gale 3. But if the rest of it's just Earthshakers, you're going to go to 15k damage to 21k damage per ship. And obviously, don't forget, you get 80% boost on your building and wall damage as well. So those Earthshakers are now cutting through those walls on the FM like butter. So I tested that today as well. and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
So
I
that
mean,
HVR shell is
going-
not just for mortars.
I was just about to say, going back to the Vendettas as well, the mortars, I did a little test side by side. I watched someone with a Zoe's Vendetta and their Vendettas without the special,
Mm.
and my Vendettas without Zoe's Vendetta was actually round about the same speed, that just lacked the damage Zoe's Vendetta bar. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. It's crazy how fast and how much difference, like Liam said, that they make.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Yeah, when you add that on to actually the special, obviously onto the lead chips, which I'm just about to do to my Harlock sit now, it's going to make that thing go nuts, because the lead Zoe one is crazy, and
I
the
completely
Harlock
agree.
6 even better. It's a much better one. So, and I've even smashed on some Pandos as well, and to see them things fly now is crazy.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you guys remember negotiator mortars back in the day?
Yeah.
They were like
Wow.
renowned as the lowest arc time of all mortars.
Yeah.
So imagine if we put something like this on added to them, they would probably fire like FUD cannons. I mean, it would just be straight across.
I mean, I
Interesting.
hit the FM, like I said, with the HVR shells on my ships. And we just got 2 rounds off, and that was it. The whole island was pancaked in one hit. The splash. When you go in the first one, you have to to get the whole island killed, the big island. On the first one on the bottom right hand corner, bottom left hand corner of the 109s. One round basically landed. As the second one was in the air, the island was dead. It was absolutely obliterated. I couldn't believe it. So I was like,
well, I run like a Savage Kodiak and just sit it in the corner, and then run a Punisher and free Citadels. So like probably quite an old school way of doing them still, but we're using the new special. I refitted it onto the free Citadels, and I would say I was probably 60% more efficient and faster and higher, and it was just crazy.
it's a huge. It's funny how one special can make so much difference for so many people.
It is. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal.
I like it. It's a generic special. I think it's going to get used right across the board. Be interesting because it's not locked to any particular weapon type. Because it's not. Oh, sorry, any hull type. It can go on all of them, which is nice. Conquerors and obviously the PVEs, Siege or whatever you want.
I'm not sure that was intended by Kickstarter, though. I don't think they designed that and said,
Let's pause on that bit then for it, and that we'll re-rub that and scrub it so they don't hear it. Because it's going to have a detrimental effect on some people's T6 holes, or a massive effect for the positive as far as they're concerned. But we'll see. Next slide, Andrew, if you wouldn't mind, please. So here we go again, and bear in mind all these prices here in the UK pound. Okay, then. So these are the offers that are up at the moment. So there's a massive discount, which is permitting people to catch up, I suppose. Then again, if you never coin, like Brian, you're not going to coin anyway, because the discount is only a discount if you were going to buy it in the first place. But there are some huge discounts there on offer. So, it's right across, obviously, the builds to do this current raid format. So if you are a little bit behind that sort of stuff, and, for a Brit, $8 is not bad for what you're getting offered there. Next slide, Andrew. Which I think is the last one, to be honest. Yeah, and that's the second. I think that's the second one, which should be the last slide. So there's some more offers there. Like I said, that's in Brit pounds. I mean, 64 quid's quite a lot of dosh, isn't it? To be honest, even for a sort of like a reasonably sort of like around about town man myself. But
buy 31 day Cannoneer builds.
Yeah, I suppose that's a lot, isn't it? To be honest,
But
and if you want to catch up, but
if you were planning to coin the fleet before the raid anyway,
yeah,
like for me, I coined the Harlock Cannoneer, and I've got 2 Cannoneers fully built, and then I've got 2 that were just dry hold and max ranked. So I'll probably pick up the
but obviously
second
there's
offer.
there's VXP tokens there for both types of ships, the Ironclad and the and obviously the Cannoneer, that sort of stuff.
And the
There's
limited
Zelos this
versions,
time.
right? The regular and the limited versions, all of them have VXP tokens on offer.
Yeah.
It's only Cannoneer VXP tokens.
If you were planning to coin them before next raid, then it's a great discount. It is, but I mean,
Yeah. Well, I had 18 screens pop up for discounts.
I was going to say, I had some Harlock Cannoneer and Harlock Ironclad ones.
Ironclad, yeah, I did as well. So unless it's because Andrew, have you got the Harlock Ironclad? Have you?
No.
That's probably why you didn't get it, mate.
Yeah.
I'm only guessing that's why you didn't get it. But I had 18 splash screens turn up, and I could cycle through
I had about
18.
19.
I think it was 18 I got.
So I've got the Ironclad, so.
But not the Harlock one, so you wouldn't get the VXP offer for the Harlock, because that would be really naughty of them for you to buy it and then not be able to use it, because you haven't got it.
I would have bought it and then won it on the next raid.
Because we're making it. we're making the assumption it's in there. We believe it's in there, but we haven't confirmed that yet. Because
but didn't confirm it's last year.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got confirmation then that the raid briefing notes are coming out on the 14th. That was put up on the forum as well. That was from Doom. So basically, the event prize list will be out 2 days as per normal before the raid starts, which will be the Tuesday. So that's good news. So that'll help us out for our Tuesday show in a fortnight's time. And that's all I've got for tonight. Has anybody got anything else? I want to finish off last 5 minutes.
Welcome back, Liam.
Yes.
Probably done something with your hair.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I dropped the ball there. I should have had my alarm set for a bit of an earlier time.
And welcome back, me as well, because I've missed 3 shows as well, apparently.
Yes, yeah, you did sleep for a couple, Stu. I have to say.
Yeah, I was in like a self-induced coma. What?
You just came out of your cocoon.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I was in a
it's funny,
self-induced coma, mate.
You take a couple of weeks off, and it kind of feels like you took a year off. Do you know what I mean? Like you come back, and it's just completely the DP moves at such a fast pace. I think.
But I mean, let's go back to the thing. Now, somebody said to me today on the chat page and that sort of stuff, you know, and I went, oh, here we go, another hull. And I said, look, if it's not for you, miss it out. You don't have to have every hull.
I bloody well do, mate.
You might want the blueprints. I'm a blueprint hoarder. I'm a whore for them. I don't mind. You know, I collect every blueprint going.
That's
But
official.
I don't build
Mark just confessed that he's a whore.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but I'm glad Liam did it instead of me.
I'm a blueprint whore, okay? And one of my guys in the alliance is a badge whore. He loves them, and it's the first thing he gets and puts on his face. He absolutely thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I've got, you know, PK, as we all know, PK, pain in the arse, bless him. He's a mega monster now. He loves his mega ship, and actually he doesn't do base defense. He's not even doing anything to do with his base at all anymore. And he just goes out and plays mega ships, and that's it. And he loves it, you know. And do you know what? Isn't that what it's all about? If the person's enjoying it, and that's what's making them log in, then
you got to take enjoyment out of whatever you find enjoyable. You know.
Yeah. So don't feel you have to do everything, because that's not what it's all about. Anyway, enough chit chat. Across the board, anybody got anything you want to finish off with? We're good.
Oh, I'm good.
Liam, you can close.
Yeah.
As long as you don't fall asleep.
No, it's great to be back, and apologies again for being away for a couple of weeks. Sometimes you need to take a bit of a time out for life, but it is good to be back and good to see the show and everyone doing so great. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of stuff planned for TFC throughout the year. I was just chatting to some of the admins about it throughout the week. We're doing a few changes. I think we even talked about doing some online, like an online store on our website where we're going to have like some TFC memorabilia.
That was the reason SSL certificate.
Yeah. Sorry, say again, Andrew?
That was the reason why you upgraded the site security.
Yeah, of course. So there is like there's going to be like some T-shirts and phone cases and a few bits and bobs. I mean, we're not looking to flood ourselves with money at all, but we are looking later in the year. There's been some discussion about TFC spreading its wings a little and expanding, and to do so, we need to copyright our logo and whatnot. So we are looking at other ways of generating some revenue for the show and to fund that. So there's a few things coming up, and it'll be quite interesting for you guys to see it all as we go. So exciting times. But yeah, that's about it for me. You know, I hope everyone's having a good start to 2017, much better than I have had, I hope. And thanks everyone. Thanks for you wonderful TFC people. Thank you, all the admins, for the great work you've done on the show. And thank you, everyone that tunes in. We'll see you for Saturday's show.
I was just about to say as well, I'd like to add that I've noticed that the viewers have increased on every single one of our live streams lately as well, by like 40 plus. And thank you for that.
Good news.
Having you 40 odd people that are new, welcome.
Well, that's because I've been away, and now that I'm back.
But no, because it was higher, but then you came on the show and started babbling, and then we just lost 3 people. So,
yeah. That happens. I do babble.
Short, sweet, and to the point. Okay.
Yeah.
Good night, all.
But thanks for coming out, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.